I hope you guys all enjoyed our super mellow music to start. It's part of the theme of today. So hi everyone, Petra Sultan with Thrive, the Alliance of Nonprofits for San Mateo County. And today's theme is self-care. So that was part of the kind of relaxing way to enter the space of this meeting. And thank you to Kirsten, my colleague, for picking out the perfect music for it. We also have Helen from the county, and I don't know if Melissa ever got a chance to announce it, but Melissa has taken another job, so she's no longer with the county, and so Helen will be answering all of our questions. So today, we're going to start with just a couple of minutes of updates, reminders, things like that. And then afterwards, we're going to do our mental health presentation with Alysa Stanford from San Mateo County. She'll tell us more, and then that'll be about 30 minutes. Then we have breakout rooms with some questions, and then we'll come back and talk. So again, please continue to introduce yourself in the chat, and we'll have much more time for chatting during the breakout room sessions. I wanted to let you know about something special, and if you guys haven't heard about this, then somehow or another you're not on any of our mailing lists, which would really surprise me. But this afternoon, Congresswoman Jackie Speier is coming to do a town hall with us. And so we would love for anybody who would like to join us to hear our Congresswoman in conversation with Georgia Farouk, our Executive Director, about the American Rescue Plan and how to get those federal funds to us. There's a huge amount of money coming, and she's going to kind of break it down for us a little bit, as well as tell us how to access those funds and also listen. So if there's particular things that you think that our Congresswoman should know, this is an opportunity to share it with her. So Kirsten will put the link in chat if you want to sign up and come. It's from 4:30 to 5:30 today, and we look forward to it. It should be really interesting. We're very excited to have the opportunity to speak with her and ask her questions that are really specific to us. I think you guys know that the vaccine equity group is now on hiatus for a couple of months. So I want to make sure that we continue to speak with each other and talk about really what our challenges are, even though that group is not continuing to go. And if we have specific questions that normally we would have asked there, we can always ask those of Helen, because she's here. So besides that, I don't have any other announcements. We will be meeting next month. We'll be doing it in our regions again. So Helen, do you have any announcements from the county?
I do have a few quick ones. And I've sent out a lot of these links. I'm going to try and put them in the chat. There we go. So I sent out a lot of them via Curio already, but just wanted to make sure everybody knows that, you know, our county sponsored neighborhood vaccine clinics, they've settled down into a regular weekly schedule. So we have evergreen graphics and flyers available for those now. And we also have a flyer with all of the clinics on one easy to read flyer. So if that's easier to distribute to your networks, please do so. And then our county health is now also offering, they're opening up vaccine clinics for folks to request. So if you have a group of 25 or more people, or you know of any other partners who aren't in our network that might want to submit a request, please do spread the word on that. And that's that second link there. And then finally, I wanted to let everyone know that our county does have plenty of funds available for rental relief still, and we're trying to get it to people who need it. So this is for both renters and landlords, and it can be used for rent and or utilities. And so this is going to be an increased focus for our office going forward in the coming weeks. So we're sending out flyers and graphics via our weekly communications calendar, but it's going to be even more of an increased focus. So please do look out for those materials. And yeah, hopefully Kirsten can also send out those links in a follow-up email as well, so you don't have to worry about saving all of them right now. But that's it for me. Thanks, Petra.
I want to jump in a little bit about the housing thing. I'm sure most of you know this, but just in case, the governor did extend the eviction moratorium till September 30th. And one of the reasons was I mean, besides the fact that it was the right thing to do, was that it's been taking so long to actually get access to the rental relief money. So two things have happened. One is that the application has been simplified, and the other is that there is now more time. So hopefully you can get people to do the application so that we can get access. It's really frustrating that there are all of these funds and we aren't being able to get them to the right people. So hopefully with more time and a simpler application, we'll be able to do more of that. If you guys have questions about any of that, please let Helen or I know, because that's super important. We are tremendously relieved that the eviction moratorium didn't end on June 30th, as I'm sure all of you are. So with that, Helen, do you actually want to give the introduction for Alysa?
Yes, I would. I'd love to. So today we're very lucky to have Alysa Stanford with us. She's actually part of our San Mateo County Wellness Program. And she's here to help lead us in some wellness activities. Just to, you know, remind ourselves that to self-care and to take care of ourselves. So Alysa, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Hopefully everyone can see and hear me. Sorry, I'm like a little sweaty. I just taught power yoga. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do today, we're actually going to do something called progressive muscle relaxation. This is a relaxation exercise that's really good for beginners that have trouble doing traditional meditation. And it does promote the mind-body connection. The physical relaxation will help our mind relax. So if you've been experiencing anxiety from COVID-19, there have been studies on progressive muscle relaxation since 1920. And there are studies done as recently as 2020 on burn patients, people suffering from anxiety due to COVID. There were studies done in 2019. So it's a really effective exercise, and we're going to do it together really quickly. So I want you to scoot all the way back in your seat for me. And I want you to make sure you can feel the back of your chair supporting your lower back, so that you really can relax all of your upper body and lower body into your chair. I want you to drop your hands into your lap, palm up, and I want you to step your feet forward just a little bit so you don't have a deep bend in your knee. Go ahead and gently close your eyes. All together, we're going to go muscle group by muscle group, tensing and relaxing. The first thing I would like you to do is draw your shoulders up towards your ears. Squeeze, 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 so you have no neck, and drop them. The next thing we're going to do is bend our right elbow, trying to bring our hand to our shoulder. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze that bicep muscle, and drop that hand heavy in your lap. Let's go with our left hand, trying to bring the hand to the shoulder, squeezing that left bicep. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze like you're working out, and drop all the heavy weight of that hand in your lap. Next, you're going to extend your left leg, straighten that leg all the way out in front, squeeze that quadriceps muscle, squeeze your thigh, and drop it. I want to hear a bunch of thuds. Keeping those eyes gently closed. Extending the left leg all the way. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Big contraction of that quadriceps muscle, and drop it. I should hear a bunch of thuds. You're going to take that right hand and clench it into a ball. So the forearm is heavy in your lap, but your hand is working, squeezing that right hand into a little ball. Squeeze, 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 and release. Your hand should be in a relaxed, natural position, fingers slightly curled. Let's go to the left hand, squeezing it into a tight little ball, working all the muscles in your palm and fingers and forearm. Squeeze, 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 and release. Good. Let's lift up that right foot. The heel remains on the ground, squeezing that right shin muscle. Pulling those toes up toward the ceiling. Squeeze, 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 and drop it. Should have a heavy foot on the ground. Let's move over to our left leg, keeping the heel on the ground. Pull those toes up, up, up toward the ceiling, squeezing the shin as hard as you can, like you're working out, and drop it. So your hands are heavy in your lap. Your arms are heavy in your lap. Your feet are heavy on the ground. Your legs are heavy in your chair. Your shoulders are pulled down away from your ears, heavy with your shoulder blades slid down your back. Next up, we're gonna pull in our belly button. Squeeze that belly button in toward your spine like you're trying to fit into a pair of pants that are too small. Suck it in, suck it in, suck it in, suck it in, and release. Now your belly should be totally relaxed in your lap. Hands are relaxed, feet are relaxed. Belly's relaxed, shoulders down away from your ears. Moving up into our face, we're gonna squeeze our eyelids shut as hard as we can. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And when we release, our eyes are still gently closed. Next, we're gonna clench our jaw. Don't hurt your teeth. Clench, 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 clench. Squeeze all the muscles, all the chewing muscles, and relax. Let your teeth drift apart. Make sure you have a little opening, a little space between the top and bottom jaw. Let your tongue slide toward the back of your mouth. Releasing all the tension in your jaw, all the tension in your eyes. Next, we're going to take the tip of our tongue and we're going to press it hard against the roof of our mouth. Push that tongue really, really hard. Use all the muscles in your tongue. Push, 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 and release. So our jaw is relaxed, our tongue is relaxed. Our eyelids are gently closed. Next, we're going to move into our eyebrows. Knit those eyebrows together, really angry face. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze those eyebrows and release. Our eyebrows are relaxed. Our eyes are relaxed. Our jaw is relaxed, slightly open. Our tongue is heavy and relaxed in our mouth. Our shoulders are heavy, down away from our ears, with the weight of our arms and hands sinking deeper and deeper into our lap. Our feet are heavy, pushing down into the ground. Our legs are heavy in our chair. Our belly is relaxed in our lap. Now we're going to draw our breath in through our nose, all the way down toward the belly button, filling up that relaxed, heavy belly that's resting in your lap. Exhaling through our mouth. Remember, our jaw is slightly open. Our eyes are still gently closed. Inhaling through the nose, deep into the belly. Exhaling through the mouth. On every exhalation, letting go of any little bit of tension that might be left. Think about any tension in the front of your throat. Think about any tension that you're carrying in your shoulders, your back. Where do you hold your stress? Inhaling through the nose, deep into the belly, exhaling through the mouth, letting go of any remaining tension or stress. Couple more deep belly breaths, eyes gently closed, limbs heavy. You should feel like a puddle in your chair. Good. When you're ready, go ahead and wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. And then you can gently blink open your eyes. Oh, it's bright. Okay, from here, we're going to transition into some gentle stretching. You can actually stay in your chair for all of the stretching, but if you would like to get up and get the circulation flowing, you can stand up and do these as well. So you're going to peel yourself off the back of your chair, and you're going to scoot to the middle of your chair, engage your core, make sure your back, oh, you can't see my chair because my back out, but make sure your back is not touching. Peel yourself off. We're going to start with our hands out in front of our body. We're going to inhale our arms out to the side. Start thinking about opening up that chest, undoing any hunched over posture that we may have from sitting in front of a keyboard or sitting in the car, sitting looking at a book, our smartphone, the TV. Good. Exhale, bring the hands back out into the front of the body. Inhale, open your arms out to the side. Exhale, bring your hands back to the front of the body. One more time. Inhale, open. And this time, as you exhale, flip your palms and push behind you. See if you can grab the back of your chair, straighten out your arms, lean forward, stretch out your biceps. If you're very, very flexible, you can interlace your fingers behind your body and go into a bicep stretch that way. If not, you just hold on to the back of your chair, lean forward. We're going to stay here for about 20 seconds. Good. On your next exhalation, slowly release yourself out of that stretch. Inhale the arms up. See if you can get your palms to touch. Start stretching out the shoulders, your lats. Exhale, release your hands down by your side. Inhale, bring those arms way up, 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 up. And this time when you exhale, bend your elbows. See if you can pat yourself on your back. Take those hands, walk them down as far as you can, coming into a double tricep stretch. Elbows are by your ears. Keep your shoulders down away from your ears. Deep tricep stretch. See if you can look up at the ceiling. Good. One at a time. Put your hand on the back of your elbow and see if you can push that arm a little bit more behind you. Not across. You see athletes doing that, not that. Pushing behind, behind, behind. Make sure you're still breathing. Sometimes we hold our breath when we're concentrating. And switch to the other side. Pushing it back, 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 back behind you. Good. Slowly release. One more time. Inhale the arms out to the side. And then exhale, put one hand on top, one hand underneath, and give yourself a big hug. Drop your head. Think about grabbing your shoulders and pulling them apart. If you don't feel anything, if you have a very flexible upper back, make sure you're really pushing away, pushing the back of the body away from the front of the body and arching that upper back, pulling those shoulder blades apart, dropping your head. Good. Slowly release. Good. On your next inhalation, again, make sure you're in the middle of your chair. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Make sure all your vertebrae are stacked up really nicely. You're a straight line from the top of your head to your tailbone. And then exhale, go into a spinal twist. If you have low back problems, you have to be very careful with this one. So small range of motion. If you have a real healthy lower back, you can bring your head and neck with you. Look over your shoulder. Stay here for a few breaths, and on every exhalation, see if you can deepen your twist just a little bit more. On your next exhalation, slowly unwind. Make sure everything stacks up. where it belongs. Inhale, sitting up nice and tall. Exhale, twist to the other side. Again, if you have a nice healthy lower back, you can bring your head and neck with you. On every exhalation, pulling a little bit deeper into your spinal twist. And exhale, slowly come back to center. Make sure all your pieces line up really well. You're gonna step your feet really wide. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, dive down, reach down for your feet, drop your head. We're going into a full body stretch here. You wanna drop your head, let the weight of your head gently pull on your neck. It's bringing you into traction. You're getting a free chiropractic adjustment. Let all the weight of your upper body melt into your lap, giving you a lower back stretch, glute stretch, upper back stretch, traction in the neck. On your next exhalation, starting at your tailbone, roll up nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time. We don't want to pull our lower back. You're going to straighten one leg. You have one leg bent, one leg straight. You're going to brace your hands in your lap. Take a big breath. Inhale, straighten up, perfect posture. Exhale, with a straight back, lean forward. You want to feel a deep stretch in the hamstring, the back of the straight leg. And you want to keep your chest open and let all the weight of the upper body pull on the back of that leg. Nice deep hamstring stretch. Please be careful if you're in a rolly chair. You can see I'm rolling away here. Good. On your next exhalation, make your way back upright, but keep that same leg straight. And now bring it out to the side. So your legs are pretty far apart. One is bent, one is straight. You have not switched legs yet. Inhale the arms up. See if you can get them to touch, like you're going to dive into the swimming pool, and dive over the bent leg. And feel a nice deep stretch in the inner thigh of the straight leg. On your next exhalation, slowly come up. Take that straight leg, go ahead and bend it and cross it over the bent leg. So our legs are crossed nice and open, not prim and proper, but nice and open into a number 4 stretch. We're gonna put both hands on the ankle. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, lean forward, come into a nice deep stretch. You should feel it on the outside of your hip, your glute, your piriformis. This is a muscle that gets very tight when we sit a lot. It can cause low back pain. It can cause postural changes. So this is a stretch we should do every single day. And on your next exhalation, come up and slowly and carefully remove that leg. Be good to that knee. Good. That leg is now bent. The other leg is straight out in front of you. Brace your hands in your lap. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, lean forward. Get a nice deep hamstring stretch. Depending on your flexibility, your chest may be all the way down near the straightened knee. Or if you have tight hamstrings, you may be up a little bit higher. Bring yourself to a point of discomfort, but not pain. I like to tell people when you're doing a stretch that really works, you really are trying to improve your flexibility, it feels a little gross. It's kind of like an uncomfortable pulling. Your body's going to fight you on it, but you got to do it. On your next exhalation, lifting yourself back up without hurting your back. Bring that leg way out to the side now. Same leg is straight, same leg is bent. Inhale the arms up. See if you can get one on top of the other and then dive down toward that bent leg, stretching out the inner thigh of the straight leg. On your next exhalation, slowly coming up, one vertebrae at a time. Bend that straight leg, cross it over, come into your number 4 stretch, holding on tight, both hands on the ankle. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, pull yourself down towards your lap. Remember, this is a stretch you want to do every day if you can. And slowly come up. Good, we're gonna do one more stretch together. We're gonna go into a hip flexor stretch. So the front of our hips get tight when we sit a lot. You're gonna turn all the way sideways in your chair. You can also do this stretch standing up with one knee bent, one leg straight. So you're gonna be at the very edge of your seat or standing up. You're gonna bend the front knee, straighten the back leg. If you're on the very edge of your chair, hold on to the arm or the back so you don't fall out. And then what I want you to do is on the same side. So I have my left leg straight. I'm going to lift my left arm up, up, up overhead to deepen my stretch. So really opening up the front of the lower body here. Holding it for a few breaths. And as much as you can, you want to try and relax that back leg. Let it get really, really, really heavy. Very hard to stretch a muscle that's actively working. So if you take a few minutes a week, 1 to 2 days a week, about 15 to 20 minutes to stretch, you want to make sure that every stretch you get into, you can totally relax. Lots of deep breathing when you're doing your stretching. Quiet place, uninterrupted time. On your next exhalation, drop that arm. Slowly and carefully bring that leg back. Make sure all your pieces feel good. Turn to the other side. Good. Now you've got the opposite leg bent, the opposite leg straight. Inhale the arm up. And exhale, sink into this pose, into this hip flexor stretch. If you've ever done yoga, it probably reminds you a little bit of warrior one or a high lunge. Stretching that straight leg way, way, way behind you. Opening the front of that hip. On your next exhalation, drop that arm. Slowly and carefully bring that leg back to center. Okay, you're back to the middle of your chair. Go ahead and shake out your arms, shake out your legs, take a couple of deep breaths. One last thing we're gonna do, it's not a stretch. You always have to be careful stretching the neck. Sometimes you do more harm than good. We're just gonna do half circles. So you're gonna bring your ear to your shoulder, chin to chest, ear to shoulder, chin to chest, ear to shoulder, chin to chest, ear to shoulder. Then smooth it out. Do this a few times at your own pace. See if there are any sticky spots. A lot of us carry tension in our neck and our shoulders. So see if anything is pulling, maybe you've got a knot somewhere, and pay a little extra attention to that spot. Good. Okay, thank you for doing that. You may be wondering why we went from deep relaxation into stretching. That's because exercise is the #1 way to burn off cortisol, which is our stress hormone. So I'm going to hand it over to my wellness coordinator, Melissa, and she's going to do loving kindness meditation with you all, which is another type of relaxation or mindfulness meditation exercise. And there she is. I'll mute. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alyssa. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Alyssa. I work with Alyssa on the San Mateo County Wellness team, and I just want to stay in that one sticky spot I found with that neck stretch. It just feels so good. But I'm feeling so happy and grateful to be here with you all today. I am going to guide everyone here today through a quick loving kindness meditation. So loving kindness meditation is an opportunity for us to practice kindness and friendliness with ourselves and others. And when we do that, especially when we do it regularly, it could really increase our feelings of happiness and connection in our lives. So why don't we all begin by sitting comfortably, feet flat on the floor, sitting tall yet relaxed. Relax your whole body and take a deep breath in and yourself exhale out. Take another breath in through the nose. And on your next breath out through the mouth, you can even gently close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Or you can maintain a soft gaze in front of you. Allow your breath to fall into a natural rhythm. And follow each breath from the beginning of inhalation all the way to the end of exhalation. And begin with yourself, bringing your attention to the center of your chest around your heart. See if you could bring a sense of ease, warmth, and friendliness to yourself. Picture yourself as you are now, or perhaps as a young beloved child. Allowing whatever arises to be received in a spirit of friendliness and kind affection. We begin with ourselves because loving ourselves helps us more easily love others. Now bring your awareness to someone you love, perhaps a relative, friend, or even an animal. Begin to send the love that you feel to them. Both of you are similar. Just like you, this loved one wishes to be happy. Send all your love and warm wishes to them. Now bring to mind an acquaintance toward whom you feel neutral. It could be a neighbor or a colleague or someone else that you see around but do not know very well. Like you, this person wishes to experience joy and well-being in their life. Send warmth and kindness to that person. Now expand your awareness to picture and include community members, neighbors, people everywhere, animals, all beings, the whole earth. Send warm wishes to all living beings on the globe who, like you, want to be happy. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Maybe noticing how you feel now compared to before the practice. Noting how it feels to generate feelings of loving kindness to yourself and others. And when you're ready, bringing your attention back to the space around you. Slowly bringing movement back to your hands and feet. And when you're ready, slowly opening your eyes. I hope you found that helpful. I know I feel really rested and peaceful right now. This is something you can practice any moment of your day, just sending loving kindness thoughts and warm feelings toward people you love, and even to people you don't know very well. It can really help us feel more connected to one another. And now for our last little self-care practice that we're going to do with you. It's called 3 Good Things. And I invite you to think of 3 things that went well for you today so far. Maybe it even involves some of the people who were in your meditation just a moment ago. It could be anything from, I had my morning cup of coffee, or I had a wonderful conversation with a friend I've been meaning to get in touch with, or today's a new day. I mean, it can be whatever comes to mind. And this is also something that only takes a minute to do. So if you can, I invite you to open up the chat. Oh, I'm so sorry. I see a message from Henrietta. I'm so sorry, my audio is a little bit muffled. I'll look into that. I apologize, I'm outside right now, so if you hear some background noise, it's probably because of that. But so for our 3 Good Things practice, I invite you to share in the chat, you know, what comes to mind. It could be big or small or anything in between. Go ahead and share and let yourself feel those positive feelings. A practice like this could really help us orient to the positive and remember what went well, and can help us through transitions, through adversities. We're just really reminding us that, you know, we can have and cultivate an attitude of gratitude. So I invite you to do that. You can even do a personal journal entry for yourself at the end of the day and kind of write it down, 3 good things that happened in the day and what your role was in making it happen. So that's it for me. I really appreciate you inviting us to share these self-care practices with all of you. If any of you have any questions, we could always be reached at wellness@smcgov.org. And thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Alysa, thank you. And thank you to Alysa. I was actually wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about the program that the county runs through Get Healthy.
Yeah, that's a good question. So we do employee wellness programs. So it's employee facing programs, but we do a holistic approach and we offer activities for physical, emotional, and social well-being. And that ranges from recreation events that employees can bring their family and friends to, meditation, exercise classes, videos that help with stress, some other behavioral health resources, smoking cessation programs, nutrition education programs, and weight loss challenges. Probably a million other things that I'm forgetting. But County of San Mateo employees have access to a wellness portal that they can access through their work product Okta. And that wellness portal has all of their events and activities housed in it. But there are several activities that are open to our community partners. And we actually just did an event called Dance Off, which we opened up sort of to the public, which was a fun exercise competition. And we got to send some wellness baskets to non-county employees. So that was fun.
Great. Thank you. We'll send out a link to the community events. So really appreciate it. I hope nobody checked their email in the last 20 minutes. I hope everyone was really present for that because it was very valuable, and we always forget how much we give and give and give, and to take a little time for ourselves and recharge is super important. So I hope you all enjoyed that. So thank you, Melissa.
For inviting us.
Okay, great. Okay, I kind of feel like we should have like a little break before we go into the next thing. That was really relaxing and really gave us all a chance to center, because we do so much and we're pulled in so many different directions and everything's binging and bonging and yelling at us to check for things. So this was a lovely interlude. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do breakout rooms so we can have some time to talk to each other. Since last month, we're in a different phase of the role of what's going on. Last time we met was before the mask mandate was gone and before we knew as much as we did about the Delta variant, and all kinds of things have happened. I think we also have some more of an idea of who's not getting the vaccine in your communities. So I think maybe we break out into 6 groups, Kirsten, breakout groups for about 20 minutes. So we really have time to get to know each other. And so, you know, the first thing you should do when you get into the breakout room is introduce yourself. We'll put this in notes. And then a little bit of what's the one thing that you see yourself incorporating into your daily wellness routine from what we did today. And it doesn't have to actually be what we did today, but maybe one thing that you want to share about what you do, to take care of yourself before you take care of everybody else. And then the second thing is more kind of back to the subject at hand, which is, you know, how has the lifting of the COVID restrictions kind of affected your outreach? And how do you anticipate it will continue to affect your outreach? So that's really about sharing of ideas. And if each group can have nominate a scribe who can report out at the end, that would be great. So does anybody have any questions or anything they want to share with the whole group before we start that? So we'll be doing this for about 15 minutes and then we'll come back in. So see you all in a breakout group. I'd like for each person who had a scribe or a report out person in their room to maybe just give a couple highlights of some fun self-care things that people talked about, and then a couple issues of concern or not around the COVID outreach and how it's changed. So who was, sorry, we were room 1, so I guess we're going to pick on Peter first. Peter was our note taker.
I was just looking for the hand raise, but you called me out anyway. So.
Sorry.
So I'll first share some of the wellness activities that I'm actually going to take some of these in for myself. Walking the dogs, yoga, stretching, meditation. Today was a good reminder to continue that practice on a regular basis. Morning and evening walks. I really loved hearing about that because it seems like a real great way to open and close the day. It's like a mini commute, maybe, for those of us who are still working at home. Setting wellness goals such as running, cooking, and connecting with others through cooking and sharing meals. And then time with kids. This was my share. It really allows me to stay more present because that's where my kids are living right now. They're of that age where they're young and everything is in the moment right now. And it's a good reminder. As far as COVID outreach, we had some themes. It was a good group because it really spanned across demographics as far as age is concerned. The older adult population majority seem to be vaccinated. And so they're working out ways of bringing in person and working out details around, do we mask, do we not mask, do we set guidelines, proof of vaccination? So those are currently in the works as they come back to in-person activities and services. Generally, people are excited to get together. They're excited to get together with family. There still appears to be some hesitancies with the vaccinations. And one thing we did touch on is the young adult population, and they don't appear to be as eager. I'll say that in that way, as they don't appear to be as eager to get vaccinated as the older adult population. So there's been some encouragement there. Both on a personal and professional stance. And this is, as far as the young kids, that's what we do at Family Connections. We've done some in-person activities outdoors. Obviously for children that young, there isn't an opportunity for vaccinations yet, but they've been masked up and it's been really great to socialize and get together, and the families appear really excited to reconnect to in-person services. So that's our quick update. I don't want to take too much time for the group, but it was a great group dialogue.
Thank you, Peter. Who's next?
Hi, I can go from group 2. So we didn't really, so hopefully.
Don't forget to introduce yourself.
I'm sorry, Adam Elsholz, South San Francisco Public Library. And thank you. And so maybe my group can help me out here. Not take great notes. Don't know that we settled on a scribe, but let's see. I'll start it off with saying, yeah, the stretching definitely was something that all of us found useful and needed. There were definitely some sore spots in places that didn't want to stretch. So we realized we need some more stretching. The muscle relaxation activity in the beginning, maybe that can even help us go to sleep. We felt very relaxed after that one. Then as far as how the restrictions have affected outreach, so at the vaccine clinics, the group reported seeing a decrease after those restrictions, in attendance at the clinics. Talked about the challenges, people thinking that since everybody else is vaccinated, it'll be okay for them not to get vaccinated, that they're safer, hesitancy, yes, about the youth and myocarditis. Strategies that work are just all about talking to people in person and making sure that you follow up with those people. So it's really about having those conversations at this point to convince hesitant people to get the vaccine. And it was great. We exchanged, made good connections in the group for at least, myself, and found, some support, especially from Lisa, in terms of supporting some possible clinics in South San Francisco. So if anybody else in my group would like to highlight anything.
Adam, I think you covered it pretty well. Thank you.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, that greatly summarized our discussion.
Great. Okay. Thank you, Adam. Next group, there should be one more, I think.
I'm number 3.
Okay, Gloria.
For my group, I'm sorry, my phone is going to stop ringing in a second. I hope it doesn't bother you. But in terms of wellness, I think we are concentrating on exercise, like swimming, like stretching, the good night's rest, and breathing. So those are good reminders, and people are doing a variety of things. In terms of our approach to COVID, I think our group is really conscientious of the mask wearing, continued mask wearing, and up the ante in terms of June 15th doesn't mean anything because the variants are threatening, and we want to just emphasize the importance of that. There's going to be more in-person contact. COVID kits will continue. The vaccine schedules are more concise, and we like that, and they're going to be going out. And some are not changing that much, but the message of maintaining caution is stressed. And that's about it. Just more cautionary measures, more community contact, the vaccine schedules going out by phone or by in-person contact. Thank you,
Gloria. Anybody else want to add anything?
I can add something for our group, group 6. Just reporting out in terms of self-care, very similar to other groups in terms of yoga, stretching, exercising, and gardening as well, being useful sources of, de-stressing from the week. And then also some things about, from the outreach side, we heard that, using the Delta variant as a talking point can sometimes be effective for persuading people to get the vaccine. So that's interesting. And then also we heard along the coast that there could be some unique challenges there in terms of summer tourists coming in with the warmer weather. So, and then also, the organizations in our group are in various different stages of reopening, but so far for those who have reopened, it's been pretty smooth.
Thank you. Peter, you wanted to share something more before we cut you off in our group about challenges for undocumented people.
Yeah, I wish I had the data right in front of me. My the amazing mental health clinician at Family Connections was able to attend a webinar that was really informative just about some of the. So if I can, I'll pull just a couple of pieces of data, and then what I can do is I can share it with you, Petra, and then the group can disseminate it. And it was just about how the pandemic and the wake of the pandemic has really disproportionately impacted individuals and families who are undocumented. As far as I remember very vividly that, something like 76% of 76%, and this was in a different state, so it wasn't in California, of households who are undocumented experienced at least one member that had experienced job loss due to the pandemic. Something like 29%. And you know what? I'm not even going to share that one. I just remember it being low. Excuse me for this. But one thing that I really wanted to ask, and the reason I brought it up is because I know that, vaccines in San Mateo County are available to all, regardless of documentation status. I do have a clarifying question that we got some inquiries about. Now, when it comes to registering and writing your information, what kind of systems do you get inputted into? Do you need to show ID? I've seen some flyers that said you don't need to show ID. And I just like a little clarification so we could communicate that back to the families. So that's open to anyone who knows.
It's a Helen question, I think.
Yeah, are you talking about vaccine sites?
Yeah, vaccines, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, so I think that is something that we've been really intentional in trying to leave out of the flyers, is we're trying not to ask for specific ID. To be honest, I don't know exactly at the vaccine sites when they're operated what it is, but I know when we're creating the materials, you know, we were told to leave that language out. So I would assume that they're not checking IDs at the vaccine sites, but yeah, that's.
We need to know that. We all need to know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it has been an inquiry from some of our families and staff, just so we can communicate effectively, because they've got family and friends and, you know, extended networks, that I think that would be great information to not be able to. It would be amazing to not have to show the IDs. And I think just the idea of getting your name inputted into systems can bring up a lot of fear for people.
Yeah, and that's great. I'll check with our health and see exactly what kind of identification they are asking for, if any. And then I'll share that out with folks on Curio.
Thanks, Helen.
Mhm.
And sorry for butchering some of
have
that
a
data.
I
Don't
just
have it in
want to
front of me.
chime in.
Sorry, I have a comment about that. Because we have in our community, we have also some people that is undocumented. So if they ask an identification, they can show the passport, they can show any ID they got from the consul, you know, if they are from Guatemala or Salvador or Mexico, they can show any of that kind of IDs too, and they didn't have any problem when they get the vaccination. So as far as we know, nobody has any problem getting the vaccination, because in some places they haven't asked for any ID, is what we know
Right.
so far.
Thanks, Wendy.
Hi, this is Lisa. I just want to also share that this question came up at the Vaccine Equity Communications Work Group meeting a while ago, and Louise assured us that when the data is collected, it is kept separate. So their personal information is kept separate, and other governmental agencies do not have access to specific individuals who've been vaccinated. That's blinded. At least that's what she shared with us.
Thank you so much. That's so helpful.
Zoe?
Hi, yeah, so Ravenswood, I know, does not require ID for vaccinations, as I put in the chat, and we've been advertising that on our flyers as well, that people don't need to bring identification. But they do need to fill out like their name and birthday and stuff to get the vaccine.
Great. Okay, that was good. Anything else? Any other questions that anybody has we can help with? Or it's nice when we can be helpful. I think I'm going to go ahead and close this out, because part of what we're talking about is self-care, and an extra 10 minutes is an extra 10 minutes. I really appreciate you guys all being here today. I hope you can join us. And for anyone who works in North County, actually 2 opportunities that are coming up that I probably should have announced at the beginning when everyone was on, but one is that if you work in North County, we have a really cool leadership opportunity for emerging leaders. It's a year-long program that you do concurrently while you're still working, and it's free of charge. And if you have any questions about it, please ask me. If you have anybody on your staff that you think that would be good with, we're really focusing on North County, so people who work in North County or live in North County, either one. And the other thing is, if you see on if you go to our website, thank you, Kirsten, it's in the chat. There's also a grant out there for people who work with children. That's new, just came up, Silicon Valley Community Foundation, together with a company that makes facial products called Roden and Fields. I guess they decided to give some money for a new grant round, but hey, we'll take that. It sounds like a great opportunity. It's due, that grant is due July 16th. So just wanted to let you guys know about that. And besides that, I hope you take this relaxed feeling with you for the rest of the day. And we will see you in a month, and reach out anytime, and you'll get a newsletter soon with all of the links and stuff. So, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You.
Thank you.
Thank you.